I'm flying business class on American's Project Kodiak 737-800 aircraft from Chicago O'Hare to Oranjestad, Aruba. Hope you enjoy the video. So you may be wondering, what's Project Kodiak? Well, it's housed within American's Project Oasis, which is their goal to harmonize the interiors of their 737 and A321 fleet. Kodiak addresses American's customer feedback from the first generation of the Oasis first class seat. For example, this cabin divider is a new feature of Project Kodiak. A little fun fact about our flight, it is a weekly service, meaning that American flies from O'Hare to Oranjestad only once a week on Saturdays. It'll take us about 4 hours and 37 minutes to fly this route today. Boarding this morning will take place at Gate K as in Kilo 16 towards the back of Terminal 3, and here is my aircraft with U.S. registration number November 976 November. This particular aircraft was originally delivered to American with their in-seat IFU product. We're boarding on time this morning, 45 minutes prior to departure time. Welcome aboard American's Kodiak Boeing 737-800. I'll be seated today in seat 4A. This was the 167th American 737 to receive this cabin retrofit, and the new seats were installed just over a month ago.
Let's go through some in-flight instructions so we can get you safely on your way. First, make sure your seat is upright. All larger electronic devices are put away and your tray table is stowed. Seatback device holders must be stowed for taxi, takeoff, and landing. If you have a carry-on, place it all the way under the seat in front of you. Larger carry-on luggage goes.
Kodiak offers some awesome new features to these first class seats, which I'll be sure to cover in great detail after departure. These Project Kodiak 737s are outfitted with a total of 172 seats, with 16 seats in the first class cabin, 24 main cabin extra seats, and 132 main cabin seats. Planes that currently have the Oasis configuration will eventually be receiving the Kodiak first class seats.
If you do have 2 pieces of carry-on luggage, please use the under-seat storage space for the smaller of your carry-on items. If your suitcase has wheels, please place it into the overhead bin on either side of the aircraft with the wheels or handles placed in first. For safety reasons, carry-on items cannot block the aisles or exits or be placed on the floor at the first row of each cabin.
Welcome aboard American Airlines. Please place small carry-on items underneath the seat in front of you. Larger carry-on items should be placed in the overhead compartment. This aircraft has still larger overhead compartments. Place your bag in wheels first, then turn it on its side to maximize the space available. Small lightweight items may be placed in the seat pocket. If you need assistance, please let us know. Free entertainment is available on today's flight. Stream Apple Music for free in flight by connecting to our Wi-Fi. To access 70 million songs, music videos, artist-hosted radio, and more. You can also stream our library of free movies and TV shows on your phone, tablet, or laptop.
Boarding process is just about complete. Our bags and cargo are in the final stage of being loaded. So I'm going to turn the seatbelt sign on at this time, and if you're still up and about, this is your signal that it's time to stow your carry-on items, take a seat, and fasten up for our departure. We're scheduled for 4 hours and 37 minutes from takeoff to landing in Aruba, and we will be climbing up to an eventual cruise altitude of 39,000 feet, at which time I'll come back on the public address, give you an update on a good arrival time in Aruba, in addition to letting you know what the arrival weather conditions will be. The weather forecaster has informed us that we can anticipate a good ride, so we're looking forward to that this morning. And one additional item, I know that all of you have been inundated with a face mask policy for the airports and the airlines, but at American Airlines we do request and insist that you keep your face mask on, covering your nose and mouth for the entirety of the flight. Should you have any questions regarding this policy, please ask one of our flight attendants. And this policy is there not only to protect you, but protect others sitting around you. I would like to thank everybody for being with us this morning, and I certainly do hope you enjoy the flight.
Ladies and gentlemen, boarding is now complete. If you do not wish to be on this flight with us today to Aruba, now is your last opportunity to deplane. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for departure.
Let a flight attendant know if you are unwilling to operate the exit or do not meet the exit seat requirements.
And we're getting ready to push off the gate here, 5 minutes ahead of schedule.
Captain Bob Parthenai and First Officer Rob Meyer. From Chicago to Aruba, our flying time will be approximately 4 hours and 37 minutes. We will be traveling at a cruising altitude of 39,000 feet, and currently the weather conditions in Aruba are partly cloudy, skies with a temperature of 78 degrees Fahrenheit, 26 degrees Celsius. And now we ask at this time that you please direct your attention to the flight attendants in the aisle as they demonstrate the safety features of our 737 aircraft. Your attention, please.
Welcome to your American Airlines flight, on its way to one of our many destinations across the globe. Made possible by our dedicated team members who all do it for one reason: you. That's why your safety and well-being are so important to us. Let's go through some in-flight instructions so we can get you safely on your way. Life vests are located under, next to, or between your seat. In the water, a light on your vest will automatically illuminate. It's our honor to care for you on your journey. If you have any questions, please refer to your safety card or ask any of the crew members as they do their final cabin check. And as always, let us know if there's anything we can do to make your time with us more enjoyable.
Please prepare for takeoff.
Le damos la bienvenida a su vuelo de American Airlines.
If you do choose to sleep, we do ask that you keep your face covering on at all times. If you are unwilling or unable to follow this safety requirement, you may not be allowed to fly with us in the future.
We're taxiing to runway 28 right for departure today.
Las señales luminosas y las instrucciones del personal a bordo. Está prohibido fumar en todos nuestros vuelos, inclusive cigarrillos electrónicos. Es ilegal manipular, desactivar. Recuerde, debe mantener el cinturón de seguridad abrochado y estar detrás de usted. Es un honor para nosotros cuidarlo en su viaje. Y como siempre, háganos saber si hay algo que podamos hacer para que el tiempo que pase con nosotros sea más placentero.
Climbing up to our initial cruising altitude of 37,000 feet, and once we're there, I'll be sure to explain all the features of this awesome new Kodiak first class seat, so stay tuned.
welcome to Advantage and One World members. If you are not an Advantage member, you can sign up at aa.com to earn miles for today's flight and continue earning miles with our retail and travel partners. Our Advantage Aviator Red World Elite MasterCard is another great way to earn miles for everyday purchases and enjoy benefits such as your first check bag free and reward boarding. We've also introduced new benefits, including a companion certificate good for one guest, enable airplane mode, and connect to the AA in-flight signal. If you're not redirected, open a browser and enter aainflight.com. You can access aa.com free of charge to view flight predictions and other travel information. Free entertainment is available on today's flight. Stream Apple Music for free in-flight by connecting to our Wi-Fi. To access 70 million songs, music videos, artist-hosted radio, and more. You can also stream our library of free movies and TV shows on your phone, tablet, or laptop. Power outlets are available in every seat. While you are seated, please keep your seatbelt fastened and visible to the crew when the seatbelt sign is on, as turbulence can happen unexpectedly. If you open an overhead compartment, use caution, as carry-on items may have shifted during takeoff. Enjoy your flight.
For me, there's no better feeling than waking up early to fly, and this flight was no exception. Alright, enough with the awesome views for now, and let's talk Project Kodiak. As previously stated, Project Kodiak seeks to address Americans' customer feedback based off of the first generation of the Oasis first class seat. There are many enhancements to the Kodiak first class seat, and let's start with the first one, which is the personal device holder, which is mounted on the seat back, a change from the Oasis first class seat, and is a pretty self-explanatory contraption where you can mount your personal device to watch free entertainment, including movies, TV shows, and more. Next, you'll find a conveniently located USB port for fast and easy charging while you're streaming your own entertainment. It's located on the seat back, which is again a change from the original Oasis first class seat. Need an additional drink tray? American's Kodiak cabin has you covered with this foldable drink tray in the center of the two seats. Passengers complained from lack of padding on the original Oasis first class seats, so American was sure to add more padding to these Kodiak seats, and I must say, they're very comfortable. There's no bulkhead wall, so this cabin divider as well as added seat width in row 4 make for a very comfortable divider between first and main cabins. Identical to the Oasis first class seat, you'll find your power outlet as well as a generous amount of storage underneath the center armrest, as well as 2 drink tables in the center of the 2 seats. But this is perhaps my favorite feature of the seat. Pull this little tab and you have your tray table. It's located in the outer armrest. We'll take a more in-depth look at the tray table once we get our food and beverage.
37,000 feet from air traffic control. Has advised us that aircraft who have transited this area have reported having good rides, so for your convenience, I'm going to turn the seatbelt sign off. However, I do ask that while you're in your seats, please always keep your seatbelt firmly fastened about you, because we can never be absolutely certain when we may encounter some bumpy air. Additionally, should I be required to turn on the seatbelt sign for any reason, and you happen to be out of your seat at that time, please return immediately and fasten up, not only for your safety, but for the safety of others around you. With our early departure out of Chicago, if air traffic control keeps on the current reading, it looks like we're going to be at the gate right at about 20 minutes ahead of our scheduled arrival time of 2:09. So it looks like we'll be getting there a little bit before 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The current weather conditions in Aruba are, they have some scattered rain showers going through right now. Winds out of the east at 15 miles an hour and a temperature of 80 degrees. I'll come back on public address when we get closer to the Aruba terminal area, and that time I'll update you on more accurate get-off time, additionally let you know of any changes to the arrival weather conditions. But once again, thank you for traveling with us this morning.
So we're all living through the COVID-19 pandemic currently, and understandably so, food options are limited in first class. We were offered a beverage, as well as the option between a fruit and cheese plate or a yogurt with granola. I went for the latter. Both options were from Zoe's Kitchen and were quite delicious. Yes, I did get hungry later in the flight, and I ended up having both the yogurt and the turkey and cheese sandwich. Our routing today was also pretty straightforward, but provided some nice views over the central part of the United States, the Florida coast, then we'd eventually pass through Cuba and descend over the Caribbean Sea down towards Aruba. Have you ever been to the wonderful island of Aruba? Let me know down in the comments below. Also, what are your thoughts on this new Kodiak first class seat? Is it worth American removing IFE screens on select 737s to install this new product? Personally, I do think it's a nice product, and I'm glad that it's being installed across American 737 and A321 fleets. Although if the seat has one drawback, it has to be out of all things the headrest, which I found to be a little stiff. In fact, I think the headrests in main cabin have a little more padding. The redeeming quality of these headrests though, they're fully adjustable and they cradle around your head, which make it a little more comfortable. Additionally, even though this is the last row of first class, the seat does have a plentiful amount of recline, I must say. As you can see, the cabin divider moves back when the seat is reclined. Awesome feature. I don't ever review aircraft lavatories, but this is the new SpaceFlex lav at the back of the aircraft. The only drawback here is that you have to wash one hand at a time. Otherwise, it's not too terribly tight. While this aircraft was originally delivered with Boeing Sky Interior, which includes their larger overhead bins, these bins are even larger than that. They're called Boeing Space Bins, and they are massive. They can fit 6 bags on their side per bin, which should be enough to account for every single passenger's carry-on bag. Since this flight had 100 open seats, I went to check out the main cabin briefly, and I have to say I'm a big fan of these seats too. The only drawback to Kodiak versus Oasis is that it loses one row of main cabin extra. I've reviewed these seats on board the A321neo. Be sure to check that review out. I'll leave a link in the description below. As we left the United States, we got some awesome views of the Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. The water kept getting blue, blue, and even more blue. The first sights of paradise are really starting to sink in. This is awesome. Remember how I said I got hungry later in the flight? Well, this was the result, a turkey and cheese croissant from Zoe's Kitchen. Again, very flavorful, plain, simple, but very good.
Currently, the weather conditions in Aruba are 15-mile-an-hour winds out of the east, unlimited visibility, puffy clouds at 2,000 feet, and a temperature of 86 degrees. The seatbelt sign is still off. I'll be turning it back on in approximately 20 minutes. And at that time, if you happen to be out of your seat, I would appreciate you returning and fastening up for arrival and landing. It's been our pleasure having you on board with us today. Hope everybody has a good stay in Aruba. We certainly do hope to see you again in the very near future.
To sum up my thoughts about the Kodiak cabin before we land in Aruba, I am a huge fan. Not only does the cabin look sleek, but it has features that customers want in addition to new modern advancements such as the tablet holder at each seat. Adequate privacy for the last row of first class is something that the Oasis cabin, well, simply didn't have. I'm happy to say that Kodiak addresses that well. And just like that, the seatbelt sign will be coming on shortly as we are on the descent for Oasis Aruba. We'll be landing shortly on runway 11.
Close your tray table and put away carry-on items. Place your seat in the original upright position. Seatback device holders must be stowed for landing. We will now collect any items you wish to discard. Please put away larger electronic devices, including laptop computers. Secure smaller handheld devices in your hand or seat pocket. Devices must remain in airplane mode until after we land. We will be landing soon. As items may have moved in flight. And thank you for choosing American Airlines.
Por favor, permanezca sentado con su cinturón de seguridad desplazado durante el vuelo. Y gracias por elegir American Airlines.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you so much for watching this trip report. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe for more content just like this coming out in the near future. Also, be sure to follow my travels in real time at Sussman_aviation on Instagram. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. We'll be arriving at Gate 2 this afternoon in Oranjestad. And lastly, thanks to American for a fantastic flight.
We'd like to welcome you to Aruba, where the current local time is approximately 1:42 p.m. Once again, the captain does ask that you remain in your seats with your seatbelts fastened until he has safely parked the aircraft at the gate and turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. We also ask that you please keep the aisle clear of all carry-on luggage. Once the aircraft has reached the gate and the fasten seatbelt sign has been turned off, please be careful when opening the overhead bins, as heavy articles may have shifted during our flight and our landing. And before you leave the aircraft this afternoon, please do ensure that you have all of your carry-on items with you. Please look in your seatback pockets, around your seat. Make sure you do not leave anything behind. On behalf of the entire flight crew, it has been our pleasure having you on board with us today. We hope you have a very pleasant stay here in the Aruba area, wherever your final destination may be. This is your home welcome home. Flight attendant, please verify and disarm first. Stand by for all calls.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.